always knew, but I'm just saying when something tragic like that happens and you haven't said, I love you to that person, it can haunt you in a different way.
Okay, so let's get into something that has everyone revisiting the past and questioning what we thought we knew. Recently, a clip of Chilli from TLC started circulating online again, and what she said has sparked a lot of talk. In that video, she hinted that Lisa Left Eye Lopez had been holding back some serious truths she never got the chance to fully share.
Hey, that's just don't want to hear any of that. And it took me, like you're saying, it took me a long time to refer to her in the past, because it was just, I couldn't believe it.
For years, fans have had this strange feeling that Lisa's death wasn't just some tragic accident. Something about it never sat right. Lisa had stepped away from TLC for a while and was starting her solo journey. She had just signed with Death Row Records, which was a huge move. Why? Because Death Row was run by Suge Knight, who was known as one of the biggest enemies of Diddy. And let's not forget, Lisa was very close to Tupac, another major figure who had issues with Diddy and who also died under mysterious circumstances. Left Eye was never afraid to speak her truth. She brought up topics that others stayed far away from. So when she passed away, while filming a documentary that was meant to tell her side of the story, it hit differently. People who were close to her said she had this feeling that something or someone was following her. And now, with Diddy in the middle of multiple legal battles and allegations,
it's a little weird being in the presence of Tupac, and we're very similar. Similar to the point where we almost clashed. Both Geminis, and it was almost like 4 people being in a room.
Chilli's old words sound a whole lot more revealing. But let's take a step back and talk about Lisa's final days. The trip she took to Honduras, where she passed away, was supposed to be for peace. On paper, she went there to get away from all the stress of the music industry and to reconnect spiritually. She had been visiting Dr. CB, a well-known herbalist who believed in healing the body through natural remedies. But to some people who were paying close attention, that trip looked less like a vacation and more like an escape. Lisa had been dealing with so much problems with her record label, money issues, and personal conflicts.
Every time an album gets sold, TLC gets 56 cents. So 10 million records, $5.6 million. Seems like a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money when the record company has spent $3 million to record your album. And in the record business, we pay all costs back to the record company. We pay recording costs, video costs. So now we have $2.6 million left. Well, guess what? When you have that much money, you're in about the 47, 48, 49% tax bracket. So that immediately gets deducted to $1.3 million. Then you split the rest 3 ways. You got about $300,000 a piece. It's that much. Okay? $300,000. I can buy a nice house with that. And what am I gonna pay my bills with?
She felt like she was constantly being controlled and unheard. So she decided to take control of her life. She left the U. It's not long after cutting ties with her record label, Arista, and signed with Suge Knight's Death Row Records. That alone was a move that raised a lot of eyebrows. While in Honduras, Lisa was filming a documentary. It wasn't just any project, it was like a visual diary, something that felt personal, like a message to the world, just in case something happened to her. And that's where things get even stranger. There's one particular clip from that documentary that still gives people chills. In it, Lisa talks about a spirit that she believed was following her. She even said that a few days before, someone in her group had passed away in a car crash. Lisa thought that the spirit had targeted the wrong Lisa and that she was the actual intended target. Whether you believe in spirits or not, that moment felt like something more than just fear. It felt like a warning, like she somehow knew her time was running out.
13 years old. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? There were a lot of things I seen and a lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who I would be.
But what if the danger wasn't something you couldn't see? What if it was something or someone real, To really understand what may have been going on, you have to look at the business side of things. TLC had been in a long battle with the people who were controlling their careers and finances. Their deal with LaFace Records looked great on the surface, but once you dug deeper, it was a disaster. LaFace was tied to Arista Records, and sitting at the top of that tower was Clive Davis. At their peak, TLC was unstoppable, breaking records, winning awards, and selling millions of albums. But behind the scenes, they were broke. They actually had to file for bankruptcy. Out of an estimated $75 million made from their biggest album, Crazy Sexy Cool, the members each reportedly only received around $50,000. That's not just unfair, it's shocking. So TLC decided to fight back. One day, they marched right into the Arista Records office to confront Clive Davis face to face. Lisa was the one leading the charge. This wasn't some media stunt, this was real anger. They wanted answers. But here's where things start to get even more suspicious. According to Chilli, Diddy was in the building when they arrived, and allegedly, he told Clive they were coming. He warned the executives before they even got there. In other words, he snitched. And that wasn't all. People say Diddy took their boldness as a personal insult. He had a close relationship with Clive Davis and liked to keep things smooth with the industry's power players. So when Lisa confronted Clive and kicked Diddy out of the meeting room, that didn't sit well with him. From that point on, rumors started swirling. Some people who were close to TLC said Diddy was furious. Lisa had challenged authority, and he didn't like that one bit. Even worse, Lisa had started to talk about revealing what really went on behind the scenes in the music industry. She wasn't just upset about her own experience, she was planning to expose a lot more. Some say she had information about Diddy's secret parties, how the money was handled, and the way artists were treated. And if Diddy truly saw Lisa as a threat, then who else might have had a reason to stay quiet or even help cover it all up? Let's talk about the Usher connection. Remember, Chilli and Usher were once the it couple in R&B. But what if their relationship wasn't just about love? What if Chilli's close bond with Usher gave her insight into what Lisa was facing? See, Usher's relationship with Diddy goes way back. Diddy mentored Usher when he was just a teenager. Usher even lived with him in New York while working on his early music career. And according to multiple old interviews, things during those days were wild. Diddy was known for throwing parties that were anything but innocent, and Usher, as young as he was exposed to all of it. Fast forward to now. In some of the lawsuits Diddy is currently facing, Usher's name pops up. One court document claims Usher was present during a dinner where Diddy allegedly assaulted Cassie. No one said anything. No one stepped in. And now, fans are starting to question how much Usher really saw and what he might be keeping quiet about. Now, circle back to Lisa. She wasn't just the most vocal member of TLC, she was the one who would speak out no matter the cost. If she was planning to expose Diddy and people connected to him, Usher likely knew. And if Chilli knew that, maybe she's been trying to protect Usher all this time. The way she talks about Lisa's final days so carefully, so cautiously, makes you wonder. Lisa didn't just talk, she made moves. Signing with Death Row Records in 2002 was a bold move. That label was run by Suge Knight, who had been in a long-standing feud with Diddy. So Lisa went from being under the control of Arista and Clive Davis to aligning herself with someone Diddy absolutely could not stand. That wasn't just a career move, it was a stand. A way to break free and reclaim her voice. Her bond with Tupac only made things more intense. They were incredibly close, and some even believe they were romantically involved. Lisa admired how Tupac stood up against the industry and spoke his truth. So her joining Suge Knight's camp wasn't just about music. It was about choosing a side. And that choice might made her the biggest threat of all. Then came the crash. On April 25, 2002, Lisa was in Honduras with a small group that included friends and spiritual advisors. They were riding in a rented SUV on a quiet road. Lisa was driving. According to reports, she swerved to avoid a truck that braked suddenly. At that exact moment, Another vehicle appeared from the opposite direction. She lost control. The car flipped. Lisa was thrown from the vehicle. She was the only one who died. And here's what's so chilling. Lisa was the only person not wearing a seatbelt. Everyone else survived with minor injuries. Her autopsy showed no drugs or alcohol in her system. She wasn't reckless. She wasn't out of control. And yet, she was the one who didn't make it. The more people hear about that crash, the less it makes sense. Why did that truck stop out of nowhere? Why was another car coming directly at them at that exact moment? The timing, the setup, it just doesn't feel like a random tragedy. Chilli has spoken about Lisa's final days in a way that's hard to ignore. There's a sadness in her voice when she describes what Lisa was going through. She said Lisa had been recording everything, her thoughts, her surroundings, even the little details. It was more than just a documentary. It felt like she was leaving behind clues. Chilli never directly blames anyone, but she says enough to make people think. She talks about how much was going on behind the scenes, things the public never saw. And now, with Diddy facing court cases and people coming forward with their stories, fans are starting to believe that Lisa may have known too much, that maybe she was getting ready to blow the lid off something big. And while all this is happening, fans are turning their attention to Usher. His long history with Diddy can't be ignored. He's not being accused of anything directly, but people are wondering what he witnessed, what he heard, and why he hasn't said anything. Silence, right now, feels heavy. It feels like a choice. One fan commented, "Left Eye was trying to save us." She knew way more than they ever wanted her to tell, and Diddy knew it too. Another added, "Usher better say something." He was there for all of it. Staying quiet won't help when the truth comes out. So now we ask you, do you think Chilli was trying to drop subtle clues about what Lisa really knew? Could Usher be holding onto information that ties all of this together? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be diving even deeper into the story in upcoming videos. Stay tuned and take care of each other.